I love this city. If you break open my veins, Pacific Ocean salt water come out of it. In my lungs is this small. You understand the joy I feel? Listen, the joy I feel flying into LAX and seeing that brownish orange haze over the city. I bleed LA. I bleed it. The city's my father, right? And in that time, somehow when we landed in the 626, literally by the luck of the draw, as in we looked in a phone book and picked a name, we found a church. And the church was 5 blocks from here in between Azusa and Vernon, San Gabriel Valley Christian Center. And apparently our pastor, who eventually became the Dean of Ethics in the Graduate Studies Department at APU, I'm telling you, I believe this place, right? Apparently he was ahead of his game, and UEONO, he didn't even know it. He was ahead of his game. You should know that reference. You see. Anyway, so apparently he was ahead of his game because at our church, when I say my church was diverse, it was diverse ethnically, but it was also diverse socioeconomically. We had former 18th Street gang members, tattoos all over their bodies as deacons in our church. We also had Fortune 500 CEO, presidents of companies at our church. And apparently, he was also ahead of his time in his understanding of youth ministry, and maybe didn't even know it. There's no such thing. Look, the job of the youth was the entire church. Yeah. And when I say that, you're looking at a product of it. Don't get it twisted. Don't be afraid of this concept of a commuter church. I went to one. And I tell you this, at any given Sunday, or any given day of the week, you could find any one of us kids at any given house, at any given time. I tell you what, I remember Sundays, I would get in the car with the Palacios family. My sister would get in the car with the Emerys because she wanted to go play with Veronica. I knew the Palacios were going to go to La Toteca right over here. Side note, if you have not gone to La Toteca yet, you need to go change your life today. Go get that. They make throwing tortillas. It's not a game. So I would go to La Toteca with the Palacios because I know their niece Melissa was gorgeous, right? And I thought Nathan Montez was the coolest kid ever. So I would go to lunch with them, and then after a while, Nathan would be like, I want to go play with Manuel. Manuel was with the Brumans, and the Brumans lived in Baldwin Park. So that would mean that somebody had to call my mama and say, hey, can Jason go with Nathan to go play with Manuel at the Brumans? Absolutely. By Sunday night, we would have been to 4, 5, 6 different houses, right? Having 6 different meals with 6 different families. I don't have a daddy hole. I knew 20 of them. At any given moment, I would be, listen. So when I think of the San Gabriel Valley, when I think of the cities, you name Walnut, I'm like, that's the Comans. I remember the Comans. You know how I know? Because Philip Coleman taught me how to make a screen for a window. So I don't have to go buy a screen if somebody tears our screen. He taught me how to do that. I remember Saturday morning, 6:30 in the morning, our phone would ring. It would be Alex Carrasco calling my mom saying, you need to get Jason ready because we're going to go lay concrete. I'm going to go pick him up at 8. I'd have to go lay concrete with Alex Carrasco. So when I think of Baldwin Park, I think of the Carrascos. When I think of Walnut, I think of the Comans. When I think of Azusa, I think of the Montez. When I think of La Puente and West Covina, when I think of Covina, I think of the Robles. The Robles, that's why I started doing art as a career, was the Robles family, right? I think of these things. So when I look at this city, I don't see neighborhoods, I don't see gangs, I see families. Right. And the family I see, I can name, and I know their history, and I know why they think the way they think, because I spent time in their environment. Listen, walking into another city, understanding that, listen, I might be from this hood, you might be from this hood, but there's things that you learn in that particular environment that teaches you to be the person that you are. So the values that you have gathered because of your environment, I am solely willing to be a student of that. You know why? Because you're my family. Yes. That's my brother. How could I possibly be walking down the street, me being from La Puente, see a dude from Azusa, and think I got beef with him because I'm like, no, that's my church is in Azusa. Why would I hate you? You're my blood, you're me, we are us. This city, I love you because I love this city, right? So the values that grow out of this city, the values that grow, why I understand this is because I went to a, get this, a commuter church. Right?